Hey everyone, it's Alexander the Real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, which is the third live-action G.I. Joe movie, a reboot of the series after the last two movies just fell short of expectations, and the most anticipated movie of 2021. I mean, clearly everybody and their mothers was looking forward to this movie, am I right? Screw Zack Snyder's Justice League, screw Godzilla vs. Kong, screw Black Widow, screw Spider-Man No Way Home. This was the most anticipated movie of 2021, right? Anyway, this movie is pretty much what the title says it is. It's an origin story for the character of Snake Eyes, a G.I. Joe character who is known to be silent, like doesn't talk, doesn't really have much of a backstory. He's just this silent ninja assassin that's part of the good guys. But I guess somebody at Paramount and Hasbro thought, you know what? We need to do another G.I. Joe movie, but let's take the coolest character of both movies and give him a solo movie. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't looking forward to this. Like, I keep forgetting this movie exists, and I don't think anybody else really cared for it, because G.I. Joe, let me say this, G.I. Joe is a property that I always found to be really silly and really goofy. Unlike the other iconic Hasbro property Transformers. Now, as terrible as those Michael Bay movies were, the Transformers as a whole had a really cool backstory and a lot of great potential. But G.I. Joe always felt stupid to me. I mean, maybe not stupid in a bad way, because I'll admit, that first G.I. Joe movie, The Rise of Cobra, it's not good at all. In fact, I haven't even seen it since it came out in theaters in 2009. But I remember watching it and thinking, as bad as this is, it's a lot of fun, and a lot of critics seem to have said the same thing, like, it's not a good movie, but it's so much fun. G.I. Joe Retaliation is a movie that's so bad that even The Rock can't save it, because on normal circumstances, putting Dwayne Johnson in a movie will make it a million times better. I mean, just look at the Fast and Furious movies, starting with 5 through 7. But nobody's heart was really in this one. And this one was directed by John M. Chu, who would later go on to do Crazy Rich Asians, which also starred Henry Golding, who is in Snake Eyes right here. I actually reviewed that movie on not only my old channel, but this channel right here. I eventually re-uploaded the review to this channel later on, because G.I. Joe Retaliation was actually one of the very last movies that I reviewed before I started this channel. And even as bad as that movie was, it had moments that were just so goofy that they entertained me. Sometimes that movie was so terrible that it ended up becoming silly and enjoyable in that sense alone. Snake Eyes, on the other hand, is so boring. I never thought it was possible to make a G.I. Joe movie or anything G.I. Joe related as boring as Snake Eyes is. And this movie is so boring for multitudes of reasons. One of the biggest complaints that people have with this movie is the action. As of right now, I'm officially going to stop poking fun at Batman Begins for its action scenes and start using Snake Eyes as an example, because the action scenes are a mess. They are terribly filmed. There's a lot of shaky cam that's just moving and swaying all over the place, and it's filmed way too close up. And when I watched that very first action scene, because I saw this movie in IMAX, thank you AMC A-List, I got dizzy when that action scene was done. It's almost like I had whiplash from watching it, and I just had to step outside for a second. I mean, I didn't, but I certainly had the urge to do so. And then when the action scenes aren't poorly filmed, the editing is so choppy, and it just doesn't do anyone any favors. It doesn't do the audience any favors in trying to figure out what's going on. And it doesn't do any of the actors any favors who have clearly trained for this movie. And the biggest insult when it comes to the action scenes is a scene that they actually set up involving Iko Uwais, who you might know as the lead from The Raid and Raid 2. And we've seen the Raid movies. We know that this guy is capable of doing amazing physical action scenes. And the scene is set up to where he's facing a bunch of goons surrounding him. And you think to yourself, all these goons are in trouble. They are going to get their asses whooped, and I cannot wait to see it. The action scene starts, cuts away to a more boring action scene, I think involving Snake Eyes. And then when it cuts back, it's all done. He's already beaten all these goons, and you're like, You took the actor from The Raid, set up a big action scene for him, and then cut away and cut back to when he finished? Wow, I think I preferred when he was in Star Wars The Force Awakens and did nothing except sport a really bad hairstyle, because at the very least he was in a good movie. And that's all I have to say in terms of the action scenes. Everyone else has said what needs to be said, but there's more that's wrong with this movie. The script is atrocious. I mean, even for a G.I. Joe movie, I know it's stupid to criticize the script in a G.I. Joe movie, but there's just really no consistency. Everyone is betraying each other left and right. They're suddenly joining forces and then suddenly just split off. It's a complete mess in terms of characters and their motivations. For this movie trying to be as serious as it is, it doesn't really work. Because again, the other G.I. Joe movies were terrible, sure, but they had a goofiness to them that you could kinda get on board with. And the key word for Retaliation is kinda. And it barely has anything to do with G.I. Joe. The only two characters that even have some sort of connection to either the Joes or Cobra is Scarlett, played by Samara Weaving, and Baroness. Samara Weaving is an actress that I've always been rooting for ever since I saw her in Ready or Not. I really dug her in Guns Akimbo. I thought she was a lot of fun in Bill and Ted Face the Music. And there's that part of me that really hopes that she makes a movie with Margot Robbie where they're long-lost twins. But in terms of Samara Weaving as Scarlett, if this was the first movie I saw her in, I would have not been convinced at all that she would be a good actress. It's actually quite astounding that this movie made somebody as charismatic and charming as Samara Weaving be as bland and terrible as she is in this movie. And it's really not her fault. The script doesn't give Scarlett anything to do. If anything, this character feels like an afterthought. I mean, I hope she got a really nice paycheck from it, because this really is not a good look for her career. Now, I will actually give Úrsula Corberó as Baroness some credit for this movie, because out of all the actors in this movie who are trying to treat this as seriously as they can, she's the only one that kind of gets the goofy nature of it. She's the only actor that seems like she's having fun with the role, and I honestly thought that she made a better Baroness than Sienna Miller did in Rise of Cobra. But Rise of Cobra is a movie that I honestly would watch any day of the week over Snake Eyes, because that movie is more entertaining, it's more enjoyable, maybe not for the right reasons, which is everything that Snake Eyes I at least hoped would be. Like, if this movie wasn't going to be good because I didn't have faith it was going to be good, at least be so bad or so goofy that I can enjoy it on that level. But I can't even do that. This movie flat out sucks. I mean, it's from the director of R.I.P.D., which was one of the worst movies of the year it came out. So that was another red flag warning that this movie wasn't going to be good. And also, I gotta say this right now, the movie's been out for a weekend, so if you haven't seen it, then that's on you. But the final shot of the movie where Snake Eyes is actually in the iconic costume, that's the very last scene of the movie that's made to set up for a sequel, which, judging by its box office, is probably not going to happen. As a rating, I just say don't waste your money. It's really not worth watching for any reason. It's not worth seeing in a theater. It's not worth watching with your friends to laugh at. It's just there. It's just a dull action movie. And yeah, it's terrible. And there you go, that's my review for Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. Now, the day I actually saw this movie, I spent a couple hours at Universal Studios Hollywood. I have finally filmed my long-awaited Return to Universal vlog. So when's that video gonna be posted? It's actually up right now. I have decided to make another YouTube channel dedicated to any theme park stuff that I put out. That way I could just keep it separate from all the movie review stuff on this channel. And the name of that new channel is called The Real Mr. Robinson's Outdoor Adventures. So go check it out, subscribe to it, and I hope you enjoy the vlog. But now I want to know what you guys think about Snake Eyes. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is The Real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. Hello everyone, I just want to say thank you all for watching my review for Snake Eyes. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go check out my Twitch channel, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.